and 15 games of spades. And probably, typically, like the weekends, he's like, he'll work like a half day. And this Sunday, we were there until almost, because we went on TV at midnight, and almost midnight, and sat around in the private dining room, kind of like, most people were like down in the situation where
They took out Jolson and put it on top of it.
That's pretty funny.
So Key, myself, Pete, Susan,
I'm still muted over here. Are we on Hangout over here?
Yeah,
That's
we'll
hilarious.
hang out, yeah.
Spades.
Welcome everybody to America's third party
Oh, there we go.
hangout.
Seriously? Playing spades? Seriously?
You can put it in David Picks.
Okay. That was a funny paste-up you did of Al Jolson there. Thanks for that. Chucklehead Charlie, did you work on that yourself? So your rights are protected, UCLA? Yeah. That is really a gross statement. Couldn't be mad.
I don't think so.
Sarah is beautiful.
I
Michelle
think
is handsome at the most.
Doesn't matter to me.
Well, the NAACP is not giving me any problems. You know, most of the problems that I've had over the past, what, 2-3 months since they made a spectacle of me.
I skimmed it, Jet.
Yeah, the article shows the boat that I have in the background as being a paste-up for Tiger Woods. Okay. Okay, apparently a lot of you have a lot of things to talk about, all of which seem somewhat fun and irrelevant. This used to be Tangential Tuesday. We can go back to that, or we can go back to Truth Tuesday, whichever you prefer, but I would rather have Truth Tuesday. What's true, Bob? I don't know. I disagree. Now that the Democrats have sold out, Robert, they can get almost anything they want from big corporate America. Odin is the Nazi guy.
Know.
All right. So let's look up that person.
Can I close this out?
Right.
Okay, then I can close this out.
Louis Benoit. What was his name? Chris Benoit. The death of Chris Benoit. That was the big truth-seeking effort tonight. Chris Benoit, 2007, death. Let me type it in. We're going to Google Chris Benoit, death, 2007. Double murder, suicide, Wikipedia. Let's see if most of those double murder suicides don't really seem normal.
That's pretty funny, King.
Okay, the World Wrestling Entertainment professional wrestler Chris Benoit allegedly killed his wife, Nancy, strangled their 17-year-old son, Daniel, and subsequently committed suicide by hanging. Autopsy shows that he first murdered his wife. Okay, let's just take a quick look here. I'll put it on my side so Sarah doesn't have to be troubled by it. But this is the guy, Chris Benoit, world-class wrestler. She was found bound and her wrists were tied, and she died of asphyxiation. Scott Ballard told the news conference. She was wrapped in a towel and some blood was under her head, but Ballard said there was no other signs of struggle. The couple's son, who also died of asphyxia, was apparently killed as he lay in bed on Saturday morning, hours before Benoit killed him.
Wait,
Allegedly
Leslie,
committed suicide.
We're not saying the word right. Maybe there's a different way. Go up to the top.
What?
How do you pronounce his name?
Chris Benoit. Benoit, right?
Benoit?
Is the T silent? Baboltre? And Benoit? Oh, Benoit as in Benoit spheres? Okay. Bouncing spheres. Benoit spheres. Okay. I avoided that tricky. I'm getting embarrassed. Okay, he died in 2007. Let's see if there's any story about discovery of the bodies. Nancy Benoit.
Wikipedia controversy.
Let's see if there's any. Oh, is there controversy up
If you
there?
click it, number 5.
Okay, great. All right, here it goes. It was long ago, Typhoid Mary. And we're just trying to bring this up because somebody asked about Chris Benoit. We never covered him.
A statement regarding her death was added to...
Nancy Benoit's death was added to Chris's hours before police discovered the bodies. Whoa. Whoa. A statement regarding Nancy Benoit's death was added to the Chris Benoit article 14 hours before police discovered the bodies of Benoit and his family. This seemingly prescient addition was initially reported on Wiki News and later on Fox News Channel. The article originally read, Chris Benoit was replaced by Johnny Nitro for the ECW World Championship match at Vengeance, as Benoit was not there due to personal issues stemming from the death of his wife Nancy. The phrase stemming from the death of his wife Nancy was added 12:01 a.m. on June 25th, whereas the Fayette County Police reported discovering the bodies of the Benoit family at 2:30, 14 hours, 29 minutes later. How could they have reported the death when the police declared it 14 hours and 29 minutes later? Anonymous poster accessed Wiki News to explain that his edit as a huge coincidence and nothing more. That is a little bit well documented, thank you. His roid rage is common? Okay. I'm not red by choice, I'm red by tan. I just lightened up our skin tone so we didn't look so white. But then I got too tan now. So you like the tan look, right?
Yeah. I do like it being tan. What?
Well, this is just an awkward place for me to be.
Why are you over there?
There we go. I feel a little better up next to you.
Okay.
Looking good. I am gradually morphing into blackface without anyone noticing. You know, there was a guy in the 1950s, or at least a movie, called Black Like Me. And he took melanin injections and became black, just to see what it was like to feel racially profiled. I'm looking to see if there's anything in there. I want to find the truth about that. Hang on.
You don't burn and you don't tan? That's kind of odd, Carl. Interesting, but a little bit odd.
Black Like Me.
Thanks, Bev Walter.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Black Like Me was an entire movie. It's a non-fictional book by journalist John Howard Griffin in 1961. And it was made into a movie. I should go to YouTube and see if there's a clip of it. Because that was a very interesting social experiment he was on. Google Roid Rage. Okay, I will. Yeah, here's the trailer for Black Like Me, 1964 movie trailer that was based on the novel that was printed in 1961. I'll play it for you. That's him.
Oh, yeah.
Played by Spencer Tracy.
What you looking like that at me for?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I meant no harm.
Out here every day. Got my instrument take miles.
Don't you know better, man, than to show their manners? They're so comfortable standing.
It's a real story.
5 minutes, stop. Hey, boy, where you going? Hey, you, boy, I'm talking to you. Where do you think you're going?
Restroom.
What's stopping you getting off that?
Running.
You get back in your seat and don't you move till we get there.
All right, important movie, yeah. Well, this is what they did. The movie was called Black Like Me, and it was dealing head-on with racial conflict issues. And one of the reasons why I think it's interesting that people are calling me out on a simple impersonation video is our society has become so xenophobic about any reference to anything racial in any way is shunned. And in no way is that in the spirit of communication. In no way is that in the spirit of free speech. So I'm very concerned about how our nation seems to be drifting from the core values that it was founded on. And we've got these weird police states forming all around the country, engaging in very, very strange behavior.
Yes, Bob.
So that's deafening. That sound is deafening, and it can cause serious ear damage to anybody who actually hears it. I'm very concerned that our country is looking at a police state forming right now. That's why we're really concerned about creating a third party and stop the power of the two-party, which has enabled basically the destruction of our freedoms and our rights, what with the Patriot Act getting passed every single cycle of Congress, NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, and on and on. It's kind of ridiculous how we've fallen into this trap of allowing the two parties just to cave in to the military-industrial complex. So we have a vote, as voters, we absolutely have to create a third party to stop this. It's a crushing, destructive element of police takeover. And this violence we're seeing in Ferguson to African Americans is classic. Thanks, Dingleberry.
Awesome, Yale TV2. And no. It's a walk in the cake. It's not easy. I don't think about that 2014.
Shebang does not like Alex Jones. Yeah, I'm not here to freak you out. I'm not here to go, come on everybody, you're going to be on the red list. They're RFID chipping your butt. You got nanos in your body that are coming out of your ears. You know, I'm not here to freak you out. I know, he sounds really strange. I'm just here to make you understand that a third party is a guarantee to prevent something like this from happening. These two parties are working together to take away our rights. Thank you, it's a walk.
Thanks, Pat Holter.
We're seeing all this abuse, really, by the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats and Republicans both want war with Syria. They don't understand why, but they just believe that we've got to get rid of this terrible man, Bashar al-Assad, because they decided that that's what they've got to do, when in fact they're being pulled, truthfully being pulled by the World Bank and the IMF to take down Syria, because Syria stands in the way of a very, very powerful pipeline possibility of oil through the Caspian Sea, and the possibilities are enormous that we could actually be seeing big benefits financially of taking down Syria. And when I say us, I mean Western world. Russia does not want it. It's part of the balance of powers to keep Syria in Russia's oversight. So we're stepping on Russia left and right, and Ukraine we're stepping on Russia as well. So we're basically pushing all the buttons around the world to create war under President Barack Obama. And he's just doing what he's told by the World Bank and the IMF to fulfill that. We saw this play out in Libya. The very thing that they wanted to do was stop Muammar Gaddafi, truthfully, stop him, because he was trying to create his own currency, his own Krugerrand-based currency, which he had plenty of gold to do it. They got rid of Muammar Gaddafi right quick. That no-fly zone was constructed, and within 5 minutes they started firing on him, and within a 6-week period they had him basically on the ground and hunted him down like a dog and killed him with no due process. A guy who signed a treaty with us in 2007 was basically offed. So we've been basically the police force for this World Bank and IMF group for some time. Libya lost their Tripoli airport today. The whole war is restarting. Yeah, I know, Meow TV.
Wow.
You see, all of these efforts to destabilize politics in these countries is leading to a crisis that would be, I believe, called World War III. So they're creating our apparent allies in the World Bank and the IMF are creating the environment for World War III. This is the truth. No, I'm laying it all out. There's no random statements here. These are all facts. Libya was a linchpin in their efforts to control anybody challenging their monetary interest, the US dollar being the world monetary dollar denomination. Muammar Gaddafi was trying to stop that. They took down Muammar Gaddafi, claiming that Muammar Gaddafi was killing people innocently with jet fires attacks. Muammar Gaddafi had like 5 jets, 5 F-15s, that's about it. It's not like he was a big threat. So they basically took him out. And now they want to implement the same policy in Syria and do to Bashar al-Assad what they did to Muammar Gaddafi, which is to destroy their air force. Well, Syria is not like Libya. Syria has about 350 highly developed jets capable and helicopters capable of withstanding an attack. And they might even have nuclear capabilities. We don't know for sure. There's evidence of all of the things I said. You could just go to CBS News and it reported that the NATO forces actually supported Al-Qaeda in Libya. And the former president of Libya, who was installed right after Muammar Gaddafi, was a former Al-Qaeda. It's all there. Just go to cbsnews.com and research it. Yeah, research Susan Lindauer. Just look it all up. It's all there. I'm not trying to create an elaborate argument for you to follow. Okay? It's just I've got to carry a lot of people forward here so they understand how convoluted our policies have become. So we need a third party desperately. We need somebody who can look at this problem objectively, not somebody who's in the hand or the pocket of the World Bank and the IMF. The two parties are in the pocket of the IMF. They can control any political action in this country through those two parties. And they know they can control the media. So you guys are the only linchpin in the future that we need to actually convince you need to vote for a third party. It's not the media we need to convince. I don't have to have $100 million. I need enough people to really go out and basically tell the world about your new awakening, your new awareness about the need for a third party. Now, you may disagree with me on many points, but we do have a long history of doing the show 3 hours a night, 6 days a week for 6 years. We're not going anywhere. And our commitment to this third party is based on the simple fact that what the two parties are doing is not working. That's the truth. Every time they attempt to fix the economy, that doesn't fix it because they don't have new ideas like we do. But sniff, they do already have picked out the next president of the United States. They chose Hillary. That's why the media recently asked Hillary, why do you think you should be president? And she said, because it's my turn. She knows that she's in the back pocket of these people and they'll put her in the White House. The number of people Gaddafi killed, it's a variable number. You could claim that his jets may have killed 200 to 300 people. We don't know that for sure. You know, Kentucky man, Bernie Sanders of Vermont is probably the only guy that spoke out during the Libyan controversy. So I have a certain respect for the independent, the only independent in the Senate. So yeah, I like Bernie Sanders. He spoke out about a $24 billion transfer to the Libyan banks from, I believe it was the Bank of England. $24 billion was infused into the Libyan government before the takedown of Muammar Gaddafi. That was a plan to undermine his economy and take away his power.
Are you talking about the 60 Minutes report that was...
That was suppressed. The 60 Minutes report from Go Beyond Dylan Davies interview. The Dylan Davies interview actually was thrown out by the FBI. They claimed that this contracted worker at Benghazi, who claimed that he saw Chris Stevens on a gurney in a hospital living, the FBI claimed that was not true, and CBS had to basically put the reporter and the producer on administrative leave. But that story went viral and then disappeared within a day, as did a story that popped up about 31 CIA agents being on the ground when Benghazi was attacked as well. That story disappeared within a day. A lot of stories disappear within a day. And like I said earlier, Michael Hastings, the reporter who was going to do a report on Benghazi, died the day before he was going to report a whole story he had deeply researched about the CIA's involvement in Benghazi. Hillary Clinton wouldn't talk about it at the Senate subcommittee hearing. She got a head injury, conveniently enough. I saw Hillary Clinton's book right at the Walmart, Scranton. See, they control positioning. They can control line-of-sight advertising. The elitists can get a book like Hillary Clinton's right in front of everybody at Walmart. They can engineer Hillary Clinton's rise to fame in the Democratic Party, but it's only up to us, really, to stop this wave of mindlessness that has plagued this country. Well, I grab videos all the time, Awesome Carl. We make sure we have copies of a lot of things that are out there. Yeah, and now the recent story about Foley having been killed being a fake video, the journalist that was recently killed by ISIS, supposedly. Many people are saying the video just doesn't look real. There's no blood. I do have a book, and it's right here. And I can't pay to put it at Walmart. I can't even pay to publish it beyond our website. But it's called Hybrid Capitalism, and it's our way of getting this country out of the economic problems that it's in right now. And this is for sale on our website, or you can download an ebook for $7.99. But yeah, I do have a book. I just can't put it out there right now for people to look at because I don't have the kind of pre-marketing capability that these rich people have. You know, folks, it should be a no-brainer for me to tell you that our system of politics is bought off. And it's up to you, the voter, to make this a different story. If you want a different outcome for our nation's future, you're going to have to engineer it by at least voting a guy in with better ideas. I don't have the exact count right now at my fingertips. Yeah, I wrote the book, not America's Third Party pretending to be here. America's Third Party, we're going to actually pull you out of the show because you don't represent us. So Gaddafi killed 200, so we had to obliterate the country. Exactly. Israel kills thousands, and the world says, maybe he should get $70 billion more. Israel just got a $70 billion loan guarantee from Barack Obama after killing 1,175 innocent, well, 500 of them were innocent. The rest were Hamas. Well, thanks, Awesome Carl. The greatest ideas in over a decade. We're just trying to get our name out there, and we have run into a wall of absolute mindless oppression by the two parties. We started a little campaign for the primary, and they took all my signs, or most of them. Abused me as a man who pirated Fast and Furious movies gets almost 3 years. Wow. I've seen people get 3 years for manslaughter. That's kind of a stiff charge, don't you think? Unreal. Right. Bless you. All right, I'm going to step out. I'll be back. Sarah's going to talk for a bit. I'm going to do a little work around the garden. I'm not ignoring you, 2014. Did you say something I need to check on? Dave, you better grab this video. Okay, I'm grabbing it. iPet, go to.
Really?
Well, he said I better grab it. I can always get rid of it later. Thanks. No, I don't grow marijuana. It's illegal to grow marijuana in Washington unless you have a permit. Yeah, you want to do some math? Maybe these people would like to learn a little math right now. What about McCarthyism, DJ McMillan? Are you concerned about the rise of communism in our country like McCarthy was? You know, I'm hesitant to go into chatterbait. It has such a weird connotation. Well, hello there, Wintard. Well, they plan to be in power a long time. They're not planning on a guy like me entering the political scene, though. They have no real plan to put a guy like me out there.
Nice, Scantron. Do you like living out there? I kind of figured that out, Walter.
Yeah, a lot of communism in America. It's true. I'm very concerned about the rise of the left in America. Our idea of hybrid capitalism has been accused of being socialist, but it's not. It's actually been engineered to not give the government too much power. But what this is here, folks, is your money, and I'm going to play this over and over again so you can look at it. And your money is being squandered, essentially. I'll just leave that there for you to look at while I'm gone. That's your money, and if you want your money wasted by the two parties, continue voting two-party.
Use. Hello, Aneurysm says, we already use socialist programs, and Roosevelt created Europe's socialist program that was designed for us. You mean some of them, yes.
Okay, turn guest chat. We have a request to turn guest chat. Thank you.
Oh, good. That's a really big problem. But it has an answer, 0. It already has an answer, so. What's my favorite food? I'd have to figure out Y and X and all that. I would say I really like pizza, and I really like, I also really like this thing called sog chicken. I like crab. It was designed by Roosevelt. Europe's system was designed by Roosevelt, and it was intended for the U.S. Oh, are you talking about David? He gets a proper comment from you, and he doesn't comment on it. I will give him your comment when. Yes, for us, as in the U.S. I do not live on the East Coast. No, I don't have any mental disability that I know of. Do you have mental disabilities that you know of? Okay. Yes, we should pray for those who live on the East Coast and those who have mental disabilities. Okay. Thank you. Man. Yeah. Is the Space Needle a good place to visit while in Washington? Yeah, definitely. I would say Space Needle is a good place to visit. Right underneath the Space Needle is the music museum. So I forget what it's called, but the big, it has like big, huge tower of guitars and things like that. That's a pretty cool place. You can go in and play guitars and play drums and play different things. So but it is, yes, it can be a little expensive to go up into it, and a little expensive to go into that one. So I could probably work a normal job. I would wonder if you could actually be a teacher, 6353. I often feel that, I personally feel that teachers could do most jobs, but not everybody could be a teacher. Oh, really? I didn't know that Americans call what Hitler did communism. I thought they called it fascism. Yes, Rick, my name is Sarah. But it does seem like there are Americans that can't determine the difference between fascism, socialism, communism. True. Yes, we have had those types of programs, and we have for years. Especially, like, for instance, the public education system, the welfare system. Oh, that's a cute pickup line, Bob Walter. Yep, everyone who's trained the new guide is a teacher. Sometimes in life we're a teacher, and sometimes in life we're a student. Yes, I know a guy named Topper Dan, and he wants to be unbanned. Okay, I'll just unban all. I don't know why he comes in here, though. He knows that David doesn't like him coming in. So actually, I'm not going to unban all. No, David is not older than my dad. I don't mix the two, a walk in the cake. Yeah, even teachers are students. They're learning all the time. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. 6353. You got it. You hit the nail on the head. Very cool, Randall man. Very cool. Oh, thank you very much, Rick. Some students, 6843. How France solved its economy problem? You fired the economy minister. That's good. Most don't matter what happens, we will always have some form of government. I agree. No matter what happens, we will always have some form of government. I keep the two very separate, Hill. So you have twin brothers. I'm Pisces. Very good. Wow. You must be at high school then, 6353. Am I right? And then maybe if you're at the high school level, maybe do you really need a teacher? I don't think my religious background is very important, DJ Mac Mellons. That's true, aneurysm, you're right. Some people, because the movement by Hitler was called National Socialism, they are afraid that we're mimicking that. I can teach anyone. Well, almost anyone. You're right, couldn't be Mad Cow. That's exactly right. Hit the nail on the head again. Yeah, Europe does have a government that's usually working for them, because in Europe, usually the government is afraid of the people. In the U.S., the people are afraid of the government. Some do, Ninja Heart, and it's mostly because of union situations. I don't know German. You had a teacher that would randomly what while she gave busy work? Yeah. Well, oh, she would randomly sleep. Oh, okay. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I would love if my students had fun in class and actually like to learn.
That would be fun.
Welcome back, David.
Thank you. And move your money. You're cultists. Are you a part of the Obama cult, DJ McMillan?
So,
it is not legal, no. Not in the state of Missouri. Hi, DT Laura.
should I unban all?
Yeah, go ahead and unban all, and then we'll just ban this Dan guy that's been stalking us. Go ahead and unban all.
You want to talk about earthquakes? Are you in the San Francisco or Napa Valley area where you recently hit by the earthquake?
Yeah, you insulted me yesterday. Well, you just left the show, calling me names, all kinds of things. You don't recall? You don't recall that? Okay, then you're in a better mood then.
They got a pervert. He's reading the chat.
What?
Like Wendell, man.
Yeah.
They're all over Sarah's jockstrap. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're saying. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are interested in both Sarah and I, obviously, because I'm not gay, but yeah, I can't control their adoration for me. Obviously,
I'm just saying, man. I've been out for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I haven't watched your program. I decided, and I noticed some real disturbing shit in the chat regarding my princess Sarah Hart, and I wanted to bring it to your attention, brother.
Well, everybody likes Sarah, all right? So I mean, you're one of many guys.
There's nothing wrong with liking Sarah. To lust after her in a perverted fashion and then exhibit it in the chat room is across.
Well, we ban all that every time. Rodney, would you prefer? Would you prefer it if I made you a mod so you could ban all those people?
You got that right, brother.
I bet you'd like that. So now you know how I feel every time you call up.
Just let me throw this out there.
Yeah.
If you made me a mod, people's fucking heads would explode.
But whenever you call up, I get the same impression. It's like, hey, Sarah, how are you? I mean, what's that all about? Is that your alter ego or something?
You know that's all shtick, man, and there's nothing sexually suggestive about that character.
Are you serious? I've never heard a character that's more sexually suggestive in my life than that guy.
Well, that's your own perversion.
No, not at all. It's the sound of perversion. No, it's seriously, if I were to make an auditory sound called perversion, it would be I mean, that alone would sound like perversion. I'm just telling you. I mean, it's calling it what it is. You know, it sounds perverted. It sounds very pervy.
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Yeah, how are you, Sarah? So I understand you're concerned about a lot of these people that adore Sarah, like you and like many other people. They just live in that world of adoration, and you'll be fine. Otherwise, the truth shall set you free.
Take discount, change the world, blow everybody's mind up. Hey, Rod, brother.
Rod. Well, no, it's not going to happen, Mod. Thanks anyway. All right, thanks for calling, Rodney. Appreciate your input. Make it political next time, though. We'd like to stick to politics here. Thanks. Take care. He has a challenge to see who's going to hang up before he or I. I believe he won on that one. He hung up before I could. Yeah, he's a funny guy, and a lot of you people have begged to have him back on the show, even though I kept him out for a long time. But anything to add life to a dead world that seems to be getting worse and worse every single day. It seems like things are getting mixed up. Why are we attacking ISIS in Syria, which would help, not hurt, Bashar al-Assad, and then want to attack, or rather give $500 million to the rebel forces in Syria? So Barack Obama wants to give $500 million to the rebel forces in Syria that are jihadists, but he wants to have surgical airstrikes now against the Sunni ISIS forces that are now in Syria. I mean, the whole thing's mixed up. Why would he want to give $500 million to the people that we're shooting down with aircraft? It's bizarre. So that's the current foreign policy according to Barack Obama. Oh, thanks. Hey, we got a person saying, great show tonight. Hey, thanks a lot. Great show. Thanks a lot for giving me a thumbs up on the show. All right, good. Well, if Pat Buchanan was president, this country would probably be going back to the War of Northern Aggression. So I think we better keep things on a high note. You know, we don't want to fall back into the old world mentality. We have to move with the times, but maintain a certain view as to who we are and what we're all about. Obviously, personal freedom is everything in this country. Everything. And the Democrats and Republicans are stepping in on our personal freedom. They want to somehow take our guns away, the Democrats do. They think it's okay to just ban guns, like it's no big deal. It's our Second Amendment. People die. fighting with guns. Great. I think. Great show tonight, David. We gotta cut. Okay, hang on. Enjoy your pizza.
Call from.
Hey, Dave, I was just kidding about that. Thanks.
The caller is here.
Okay, so you were just kidding about this being a good show? you were making a joke? David, I know you don't like Obama. What are your feelings on George W?
I would stay white poopy. I'm stuck into that baby. It's real.
I believe it. You're KY Poopy in
The
Afghanistan.
Rangers.
Just another puppet. If you speak your mind, you'll get shot. Lena made a good point, Rodney. She said, if you're just another puppet, if you speak your mind, you'll get shot. Lena,
Have you seen David's YouTube videos?
why have you seen my video?
Let me break it down for you, you son of a bitch. Nobody's ever going to shoot Rod unless they're ready for their...
Rodney, we're not talking about you. We know you're a puppet. We know you're part of the New World Order. That's why you call in every night, because somebody's pulling your strings, man. What kind of a person would make video copies of Carl's Awesome Carl show just to send them back to me and say, see, he said something bad about you, Dave? I mean, seriously, somebody's paying you to do this. Now, let's be clear. Rodney's obviously a puppet, just like Barack Obama. I am not, however, a person who can be bought off. I've come to this whole thing with this intent that we are facing the biggest challenges of our life. An overtaking monopoly of corporations in charge of our government, mind you, where we ourselves do not have control of anything, and our trivial vote is bought up like pennies on the dollar with just a lot of advertising money. So we, as Americans, have to come together and face this with a third party. That's the only way. So I wouldn't be creating a third party if I was bought off to start with. And I have an obligation to the people that get me there. Thank you, buddy. Well, this is exactly what we're talking about, man. We're talking about getting some balls behind a movement. And hey, if I have to take a bullet for this country and die as a result of my efforts, at least you know somebody tried, right? It's just not some mindless.
I commend you. You're a great white hope, man.
Thank you, man.
All Americans got left. Just, hey, out of the two of us, if anybody's got to take a bullet, I hope it's you.
Well, I wish I could say thank you, Rodney, but I know it's because you just don't want to take a bullet, because you're frightened of death. You don't want to go to the other side, because you may not be greeted by St. Peter. You might be sent into hell, into Hades, for your sins against mankind. I understand.
Hey, we're tight friends, right?
No, we're not.
If
Not at all.
If I was the one living in a trailer in the Pacific Northwest, I'd take the bullet for you, brother.
You're saying that I wouldn't want to live if I lived in a trailer in the Northwest? I live in a beautiful place, a beautiful island. I have everything I want. What do you have? You have a wannabe attitude. You want to be something. What are you? Just define who you are and just be that person like I am every single day, and you'll be happier.
Dave, are you ready?
Just be yourself. If you're a cross-dresser, just cross-dress, man. Just come out and do it.
Dave, are you sitting down? Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, buddy. What, I'm sitting down.
I am Sarah Hart's biological father. We have your father-in-law.
Yeah, right. The age doesn't match up, Rodney. You know full well that. No.
You better watch your tongue.
If anybody is her biological father, it would be me, but I'm not. God. I know her biological father, and he's one heck of a guy, I'll tell you that.
He is.
An amazing person. And I could tell you more about him, but I don't want to violate Sarah's security. That's right. And bear in mind, a lot of you are grasping at straws trying to be somebody you're not. Just be yourself and you'll be better off. It's the truth. And the truth shall set you free. Well, putting myself out there every day for 6 years, 3 hours a day, is pretty brave. You're right. And no, I'm not jealous. How could I be? When you have everything, you don't get jealous of a lot of people. Evil Dance, I'm going to purge you and ban you. I'll purge you right now, but yeah, you're not allowed to ever threaten the president, ever. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't even make a veiled threat like that. Thank you. Show started a long time ago. Well, I'd love to be the wild card in the debate with the front runners. I really would, because I've got a lot of things to say, and I've got a quick wit and the ability to say it. There's a lot of problems facing our nation that are never even addressed in the mainstream media. Now, let's be clear. Take a seat. Let's talk about the real problems of Barack Obama. You see, he doesn't want to talk about any of the problems with Benghazi. And I don't mean Benghazi, like Ben Gazzara. I mean that terrible incident with Chris Stevens that just completely went south on this country. And he called it a bump in the road. You got to leave your name if you want me to accept it. I know the ringing, I know. I can make a difference. Yes, Luna. Luna. Well, she can try all she wants. It doesn't work. That line's been used against me. Bergdahl was the worst decision Barack Obama's made in recent years. He's made some humdingers, but that's the worst. Trading a known deserter for 5 known terrorists that killed 1,000 men. I mean, and you notice that all the problems in Iraq started increasing a week after those terrorists were released. Isn't that interesting? It was a different group, but the Taliban, we know now, has influence in this whole region. No, I don't read anything you say, Nazi, because it's becoming a non-secular Nazi. You're a living non-secular. You know, that's an improper statement, and tossing Dave Salad is, you're going to be banned in just a second if you keep that up. Falcon, I'm blaming the two-party system. I'm not blaming Mr. Big Deception. Well, we're not arguing against the left or against the right. We're arguing against all of it, every bit of it. Well, that's mighty big of you. That's mighty big of you, Mr. Rodney. You're going to call to apologize, I see.
Yeah, the reason I'm calling, Dave, is I want to clarify the rules with all these N-words in your chat room. One, Dave loves fruits, okay?
Pardon me?
Start that shit.
Was there an N-word? We ban any N-words here, Rodney. We have a zero tolerance for racism here.
I agree, man. Those N-words are out of control. You got to ban them when you can.
But the word Negro is not an N-word, despite popular political correctness mentality. It's not an N-word. Negro is used commonly, the Negro College Fund, etc. It is.
I do.
We're talking about
very similar, and we're.
Well, you can ban whatever you want here.
To purge all that.
Okay. We're just kind of keeping a zero tolerance for any racial slurs of any sort, because I have a zero tolerance for that.
For the N-word myself. I mean, any N-word that's going to go and use the N-word, it needs to be treated like an N-word. You follow what I'm saying, Dave?
Well, all I'm saying is, if I can't say the Negro College Fund, then there's something wrong with this country.
Well, I think they need to really change their name, man, if they think they are.
Well, why don't you create the Caucasian College Fund, buddy? You got bucks. You could.
Let me just say this, man. I'm offended that, you know, the phrase, the conjunction of Negro College Fund even exists, brother.
Yeah, but you're trying to outlaw free speech, and that goes against my grain. I support their right to use the word Negro.
Right.
And I don't even care if you consider any word racist.
Just to be clear, I have no problem with these N-words using the N-word and whatever these N-words
Take a
feel like using the N-word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we could talk about this till the cows come home, and I'm hearing them go, moo, moo. They're coming in. You want to just belabor this point forever? Jeez. I mean, there's no real discussion here. What about the innocent black young man that got killed?
So what if Dave doesn't like black people?
What about the innocent black person recently killed, Mike Brown? No, I don't see it. Could you have my coffee right there? What about his death? Innocently stealing some cigars. Young 17-year-olds frequently do that. Thought he was tough because he was big guy. You know, probably ate a lot of Skittles or cornflakes or something. Big guy. Yeah. Alan Keyes, great guy. I have no hatred for anybody who's African American. I love all people. But I'm saying, don't you think it's wrong to have killed an innocent young man? Well, whatever. He could have been have a rich diet of Skittles and cornflakes. I don't know. Yeah. We're going to try to lose Rod. Yes, 825. Donations are expected. If you expect us to stop receiving calls from from Rodney. The Michael Brown shooting in Ferguson, Missouri marks yet another step in this long series of events. They're trying to trigger a race war in America. David, did you like the messages I left you? I didn't read them. Well, King Moron, basically the two parties are not enemies of each other. They're the same party. And we're up against this control mechanism that the elitists have by creating just two parties in a country that claims to be a democracy. No, Darth Sidious, you're the Nazi, and nothing you say is relevant here. Well, yeah, innocent men do die every day, but on the innocent, unarmed men, do you want to walk down the street unarmed and get harassed for looking the way you do, whatever you do? If you want to keep Rodney out of the show, you have to make donations. Now, Rodney's never made a donation, so I decided, well, I'll bring him into the show and ask people to make donations against Rodney. Well, I'm more serious right now, I can tell you that. And I'm a little concerned that this African-American, along with Trayvon Martin, has been wrongfully killed and there's no justice in America, as do a lot of African-Americans right now, speaking out right now at various meetings and town halls and churches in this great nation of ours. As you know, I'm a strong integrationist who's been labeled a racist. That makes me a very strange, iconoclastic character for the future. But I'll be defining who I am as I move forward, trying to bring harmony and love to this world. Now, I just want to get along. Yes. All right. So the whole idea is to be racially integrating at the same time openly communicating, as opposed to the Democrats. Oh, you can't say that. That's something like an N-word. It sounds like Negro. I mean, seriously, what's the problem here? Everybody's so xenophobic about this that they're afraid to talk, and we have no communication between the races. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a pretty predominantly black area, and I've been in many, because I lived in Los Angeles, California. Are you on, Rodney?
Hey, brother, let me finish.
Yeah, I basically did a lot of work. I went to Compton, I went to Ingle Watts, I went to all over the area, and I was seen, no, I'm serious, I was seen as a white guy, racially profiled by African Americans, and I never had any bad feelings toward any of them. Got along great. Did business with these people. But along comes this impersonation video that I had to impersonate this horrible president we got to awaken the American people, and lo and behold, the people that voted for Obama, the people that brought us this mistake of a president, are calling me a racist, even though I've never had a racial slur used in my life, or used one, I should say, because they've used them against me. Well, whatever. You got ass jumped in the hood? Randall, tell me more. I'm concerned. Go ahead, Rodney. What's the point?
I heard that
Never.
that's off the topic of what I was trying to talk about, but I read in Randall's biography at Wikipedia that they knocked his eyeball out and screwed his eye cavity with their penises.
You know, I don't know. It sounds a little too creative for me. Are you watching a little too many Sopranos episodes? What's your problem? You know, it sounds.
It's on Wikipedia, actually. If you look up Randall on Wikipedia.
All right. Well, yeah, Randall. Thanks so much for and thanks for your commitment to. You're just upset. Randall thinks that we're great and he's nice.
Anyway, can we get back on topic here?
Sure.
Talk about Wendell, man.
Go ahead. Wankle.
I'm thinking about a powerful fundraiser for the party. I'm thinking, let's try and finalize a number here.
The number is 0 right now, so let's get above 0. What do you think? 1 penny?
I'm doing the talking here.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, let's be clear. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You talk.
We're going to put together a figure that people can donate towards for Rodney to retire to disappear from the internet. all the proceeds go to America's Third Party. 5% of the proceeds go to the Special Olympics in the name Hot Carl.
Are you divvying this up right now? I'm just trying to get people to donate $1 to keep you off the internet. I asked any of them if they don't like you.
Much more than that. Just have to get a figure somewhere in the range of, I don't know, $10,000 to $20,000.
Dude, you can't even generate $1 here to keep you off the internet. They like you, Rodney. You're an endearing voice, and you seem to.
There's a lot of hate out there, Discount. There is a lot of hate, brother.
I feel it, brother. I do.
Lord, if it helps America.
Well, let me share, everybody. Let me show everybody how to donate to America's Third Party, Rodney. Let me take you to the website, everybody. Well, hello there, Rodney. I'm gonna show you exactly how to donate. Now, our website is resizable, so if you're on a mobile platform or you got a big platform, whatever you got, we can definitely fit your website. Anyway, right here is the donate button. Ding, 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 ding. Click the button, and you can donate anything you want. If you want Rodney to go away from our show, start making some donations. I have a big platform. What's the tote board read right now as we're starting the promotion? Well, a lot of people in here don't understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to help people get along between the races. And I'm trying to reach out to as many people as I can to get this open discussion going. All right? So what would you do to reach out to an African-American, Rodney? What would be your first move? It's like, hi, you're an awfully nice African-American person. I'd like to get to know you. How does a white guy get to meet a black guy? You tell me. Well, I got to tell you, I tried to meet an African-American in my area, and we exchanged numbers, and I even called him on the phone, and I said, hey, I'd like to check out your farm, it sounds really interesting, and there just wasn't anything there. We couldn't share any ideas, so I'm trying to create an environment for communication between the races. All right. What were you trying to date this guy, Dave, or was he I know, Mad Dog. No, he was a young farmer in the area that is raising food, and I thought, what a great opportunity for me to share. I just never got off my lazy butt and went over to his farm, I guess. I should have called him again and said, howdy, I'm that cracker living down the street who wants to hang out with you. But it didn't work out. When you start a conversation, and we're like, you gotta be like, well, I don't think that would work out too well, man. Hey, I'm not trying to turn down opportunities to have interracial communication, but the Democrats are. They're trying to shut down all dialogue at all, and they don't want to talk negatively about their president. Anyone who impersonates him in a way that many people do, yeah. You don't like interracial communication, Ulster? I want to nominate a hero of mine, the guy who should be the president of all black people. He's a real black man. Yes. His name is Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Ben Carson. I've never heard of the guy. Tell me more. You need to look him up, man. You need to familiarize yourself. Well, we're going there right now. I mean, for Black America. I want to see what this is all about. Not Bill Popper. Not Rocco. Ben Carson. Not Jesse Jackson. All right, let's take a look. All right, we can look at that right now. Ben Carson is up, and we're going to take a look at him real quick here. Pull up the prayer breakfast where he insults Obama to his face. Oh, this is good. I'll talk to you later, motherfucker. Please refrain from using the F word. White House prayer meeting. Ben Carson. Okay. Breakfast speech made, White House. Amazing speech at the national prayer meeting. Okay. This has 3 million hits. Wow. You get carried away there. Yeah. I just wanted to touch on the racial issue because Truth Tuesday.
And I guest speaker this morning for 3 reasons. And hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins and heal their land.
It is serious.
I have an opportunity to speak in a lot of venues. This is my 4th speech this week. And I have an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. And I've been asking people, what concerns you? What are you most concerned about in terms of the spirituality and the direction of our nation and our world? And I've talked to very prominent Democrats, very prominent Republicans. And I was surprised by the uniformity of their answers. And those have informed my comments this morning. Now, it's not my intention to offend anyone. I have discovered, however, in recent years that it's very difficult to speak to a large group of people these days and not offend someone. People walk around with their feelings and their shoulders waiting for you to say something. Did you hear that? And they can't hear anything else you say. The PC police are out in force at all times. I remember once I was talking to a group about the difference between a human brain and a dog's brain. And a man got offended. He said, you can't talk about dogs like that. But,
all right. Thanks, Rodney. We'll try to make the thing available for us to watch later tonight. Thanks for making me aware of it. He's getting good, folks. Yeah. Yeah, ban him. Yeah, exactly. Hang on with your links there, buddy. We've got a problem. Yeah, how many brews have you had so far, Rodney?
I haven't had any brews today. Well, actually, I just did have one across the street. I had a Peroni tall boy there.
Okay, what else have you been drinking? Have you been following it with a little?
I, as our guest speaker this morning, for 3 reasons.
Have you followed with any other drinks?
He has a compelling life story, and he is a distinguished man of science and healing. We hope that he can help us to sort some things out. May I introduce?
We don't need to ban him. He's not banning right. He's not spamming right now. Slow down.
They could transform America.
It hasn't transformed.
This guy is a brother of every man, of every decent man in America.
Okay.
This man is no N-word. This man is a gentleman.
Thank you.
There's a major distinction between the two, brother.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later. Just kind of try and hold down the fort, man. Don't blow the viewership. I got to take a break.
Well, you're kind of blowing it because you're taking up my time right now. Mr. Pizza Man, you can call in. Yeah, there's a little problem we have here. It's called chat lockup. Yeah. It's a serious problem, especially when dealing with multiple chat rooms. Okay. You'll have to just put up with the chat right now, folks. It's one of those realities we have to deal with. All right, we're going to go off of the broadcast from there. Thank you. Okay, got it. I've identified the problem. It should be cleared up in just a second. Believe it or not, the problem that I was having on my end was a stuck Alt signal, an Alt button. Unfortunate. Gotta go in my own chat room. Okay. All right, we're gonna have control in just a second. Okay, we have control now. We're in slow mode now. My Alt button's stuck, so that's why I couldn't do it. Reverend Wright was Obama's mentor. One time no one brought that up. Well, DJ McMillan, Reverend Wright separated when he called Barack Obama a liar. Guest 835 is Rodney, by the way, for all of you who don't know. There you go. Yeah, there you have it. So we have things under control. You're going to bed. Good night, Sunstar. Thank you so much for coming in. Good night, all. Sleep well, Sunstar. Think pleasant thoughts about the future. Well, slow mode is designed to just keep guests from filling the room with nonsense. Ulster volunteers, we know your Nazi position. You are against Zionists, you're against communists, you're against hippies, you're against Catholic papists, you're against conservatives. We know what your Nazi position is. Thanks for sharing. Well, Mr. Pizza Man, Obama didn't really help the economy. He just basically printed up a lot of money and gave it to big corporations on Wall Street. And he produced a program called Obamacare, which is going to cost another $1 trillion. I'll play Reverend Manning. In the after show, this will be coming up a little bit later. Well, we're not trying to label anybody. We're just trying to tell you what he did, Lena. You can call him a communist, socialist. You can call him a Muslim, homosexual, or bisexual. It really doesn't matter. But you just don't want to call him a good president. Nobody really does. So the real problem is you, all of you people that voted for him. You are the problem. It's no longer Obama's problem. It's your problem because you voted for him, and you don't seem to be able to question anything he does. Anyone who questions anything he does is called names by you. You call them truther, or birther, or racist. I support a larger minimum wage for people. I agree with Obama insofar as I think $10 is appropriate, but I know the Republicans aren't going to go for it. So what I support is an idea called an infrastructure bank. Yeah, see, Rodney, I'm not a racist. That's the point. It doesn't stick with me. David is one of those who supports the Jews no matter what, or you're anti-Semitic who want to kill. You know, trip to the universe, my theory is that Israel is a state. They're our ally. Do I support the actions of Zionists? No, I don't. I voted mostly Democrat most of my life, but recently I've been voting for myself, 934. I have not met Hillary. Is this what she looks like now? Society needs to come before the individual needs. We must stop thinking of the individual and start thinking about what is best for society. That's a good one. Thank you for that. I love all these images that people bring into our show because they're like factoids. They say it all. This recently was posted about Hillary, and I'll bring it in just now for all of you to look at. Yeah, so yeah, Benjamin Carson, very good person to look at. If Rodney supports this discussion about his open opinion about racial relations, I'm all for it. We need to get more truth out there for everybody. And that's the problem. We've got a very backward, mindless world that's electing the same old, and expecting different results. And look at Hillary. She's so old, it's hard to believe she could even lead this nation, let alone lead herself out of the bathroom. But here's a picture that just came in on the pipe, a picture of Hillary. Very interesting statement that Hillary made. Check this out. This resembles what Hitler said. Society needs to come before the individual needs. And then Hillary said, we must stop thinking of the individual and start thinking about what is best for society. Classic. Thanks so much for bringing that to our attention. This is exactly what we're concerned about, folks. She is a pawn of the New World Order, of the global world that's trying to take over our nation. And they're trying to use means like attack slam campaigns against me in the recent primary and stealing my signs. That's exactly what the Hitler's stormtroopers, SA, did. They'd walk around, they were bullies. And they stole my signs in this recent election just like the stormtroopers stole anybody. I kicked people around during Hitler's time. All right, so I'm going to come back on the show. I inadvertently got rid of myself. Well, my views are Vaporflux that we're all being created by a system that was put in control as far back as the early 1900s, you could trace the NEA, an organization that was developed by the Rockefeller Foundation. The NEA, National Education Association, actually has guided our programming. Most of us are products of the public school system. So we're all kind of attached at the hip in that way. So yeah, we've been molded to believe that we're free and democratic, but we can't be free. Our rights are being suppressed, our right to free speech. Even you saw it recently with my simple impersonation video of Barack Obama. I was called a racist, and I said it was objectionable. Our freedom of religion is being attacked. We're being told we can't have images of Christ or God in any textbooks or even in public documents, yet they're promoting Allah now in the schools when they refer to God. I mean, this is crazy. The government can't dictate what we're trying to do. I'm not a racist. I've never said a racial slur in my life. I've had good relations with people of all races. It's these people who are probably suffering from white guilt. Most of them are Jewish men and their wives who wear little beady sunglasses, little glasses like this. They drive Priuses. They're the ones that think I'm a racist, not black people. Yeah, you can't say bless you in the classroom, exactly. You know, there's nothing dorky about me. I'm actually a person who reaches out to almost everybody and opens a dialogue, and have done for over 6 years now, 3 hours a day. We've done over 1,750 shows now. And I was a victim of affirmative action. I'm here to tell you guys, we don't need to be judged on the color of our skin, but rather the content of our character, just like Martin Luther King Jr. said it in his I Have a Dream speech. Yeah, the sub-Lenin sunglasses, they're stuck-up Democrats with constipation driving Priuses, and they all think I'm a racist. Simply because I did an impersonation video of Barack Obama. And I got to live with these people and their subset of thinking. They actually think that anything done that is in any way remotely reminiscent of a time when blacks weren't allowed in entertainment should be suppressed. In other words, they want to suppress 40 years of entertainment television. Seriously. And now I have to work our way back into reality and help the American people, the American of all people, realize that we can't be racially profiling people in the inner cities. We can't allow this. We can't allow people being taken down because they're African American. I'm an integrationist. I'm a person who wants to stop this brutality that's going on in Ferguson right now. And ironically, these same Democrats that are so foo-foo about their Prius also could care less about inner-city black people and the plight that they're facing, as long as it's not in their face in their white upper-level Democratic neighborhoods. Or maybe they're like Jeff Jackson, who just comes in for a cameo appearance for a photo op and then leaves. He doesn't attend any time with the people. That's what I'm talking about. Someone sent me a picture recently. Isn't that unbelievable? That's the picture they sent me. This is Al Jolson pasted onto my photograph. But this is not Blackface 2. Blackface 2 is going to be respectful of Barack Obama. It'll look more like Barack Obama than you'll ever see. Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl. I'm not spreading more hate. I'm just showing you what a person sent me in the email. Well, I look good. I'm a good-looking African-American man when I dress up like that. And you know, if the Democratic, foo-foo Democratic kids are going to be sold that, well, Johnny, you can be Julie if you want. You can dress up as a girl. We don't want to in any way profile you and transgender you. We want to open up all options to you, Johnny. Be Julie. Those same Democrats are telling me that I can't put on blackface, which is my freedom of speech, and impersonate a black president. In other words, we're not allowed to question Barack Obama. If you do, you're a racist, according to these Democrats, Obama-tards. Did I comb your hair this evening? It doesn't look like the normal. It's just laid pipe in the swim spa, messy. This is a pretty messy look. I agree. This is the trim, lean, mean running machine, Dave. Okay? Sarah takes time off, Linda Blair. She's resting. I carry the show. I've done most of the time over the past 2,000, or I'd say over the past 1,000 shows. I've done about 70% of the time. It's not that Sarah's not interested. She's just doing other things. And this is my issue tonight I wanted to talk on. Well, your colleagues may think I'm too high risk, but I took high risk 644 in order to get seen because you weren't listening to anybody. And you look at my video and you'll see that it's all about me not having a voice in politics and having to go to the extreme of doing a blackface video. You didn't get that, did you? It's the whole message. All right. The real Dave is here, Rodney. What do you mean?
I'm not sure. I mean, are you the real Dave or are you cyborg Dave? Because that when you part the hair to the left, you act weird, man. Is that really you, or is that like an alien taking over your body?
I really don't think that's relevant, Rodney. If you believe that an android is embodying my being, then you probably haven't studied a lot about audio animatronics, have you? You don't realize that the technology is there to create a perfectly robotic presidential candidate. You must have missed that somewhere along the line. I thought you were in touch with high-level technocrats. All right. He needs only 1 second to respond, and he didn't reach that margin. You know, at VoiceOver, we give you 1 beat, Rodney.
Dave, did you get Petrus?
To accept, press 1. To send a voice
What do they say, David? Are you a Petrus?
To accept, press.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, what was your question, caller?
Call from.
Hello?
To ask a caller to your.
No, I will not give Petrus my endorsement. My competitors took down most of my signs and cheated. God, that's crazy. I'm waiting for a response from somebody. You want to talk, anybody? The blacks, of course, have support. I've got supporters in here who are African American. Since when did you start becoming a representative of the black population, Topper Dan? Yeah, you're really out to lunch. I'm fighting for the rights of innocent people like Michael Brown who've been killed because of police brutality. You don't hear Barack Obama doing that. I'm the one who's a raging integrationist, and yet you hear these closet racist Democrats that sit around in their Priuses. No, we don't want to talk about that. It's not really relevant. The plight of the inner city black people is extremely relevant to the happiness and well-being of the entire African American culture. We need to help these people with jobs. You don't hear that from Barack Obama. We need to tell the municipal police departments you don't get money if you've got brutal cops on your force. That's the kind of leadership I would engage in if I were president right now. I'd be saying, no, we will cut your purse strings at the municipal level if you continue to allow racism, racial profiling, or brutality in the force. This is becoming a farce. Go ahead. That's irrelevant, Rodney. Rodney, you're becoming more of an obstacle than an answer. Well, you seem to believe that no African American is going to vote for me, Topper Dan, when I actually am the one talking about solving the problem. Well, let's be clear. You'll get a lot of glad-handing from Barack Obama. Now, please don't use the N-word here, Belfast. We have a zero tolerance for racism. Thank you. Well, Darth, I never got a chance to even get an education like Barack Obama did, handed to him, and we don't even know what he did in school. We don't even see his records. You Democrats want to sit there without any vetting of this guy who's taken over our country for the past 6 years. You just give him a free ride, and anybody who questions him, oh, you're a racist. That's what my video was all about. It was a parody of the president showing you what a liar and a con artist he is, and now you're calling me a racist. Well, you're shooting a messenger here. I'm just the messenger. And the message is, Obama sucks. And they're getting dumber, aren't they? They don't even understand that you can't create things in a bell jar and expect people just to go, oh, Obamacare, of course, take me there. I am your servant. Take me there. Let me sign up. Only 4 million people have signed up for Obamacare. And you know where those 4 million people have signed up from? Medicare, Medicaid. My blood pressure? My blood pressure is doing great. I'm hooked up to a machine right now. Let me check it. Oh, nice. 140/70. That's cool. That's almost too low. I'm sure it does. Yeah, David, you got Belfast all upset. Well done. I was only trying to purge the N-word, Belfast. Just modify any negative N-words in your room. Thanks. Well, let's be clear. Well, that's the first time I ever got a hello. Hello, what's the question?
Yes. Yes, I'm just curious as to why you continuously are saying that this boy in Ferguson, Missouri, the police officer is automatically guilty.
They basically, all I'm saying is the kid's dead. He was unarmed. What about that story did I not understand? The 17-year-old's dead.
Just the fact that he was unarmed makes him innocent.
So you think a policeman should shoot to kill when somebody steals some cigars?
No, he shouldn't shoot to kill.
Well, why did he shoot to kill? Well, why did he shoot to kill then?
Well, you don't know that he's unarmed. Your hindsight's 20/20. You're only looking at the facts.
I think the brutality in the police force needs to be modified. Thank you. Hang on, I got another caller.
Couple phones.
I have dog Matt.
Okay. I have to call now.
Okay. Are you back up, caller?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I understand that the police force is a little out of hand, and it should be modified. We should look at the practices that they do. But to automatically jump to the conclusion, what you're talking about, and I agree with you, how people are going straight after you and calling you a racist for the Obama video is very wrong. But to automatically see that a young black man is shot by a white cop, to automatically say that cop is racist, I think that's a little stretching it by as well.
I did not call the cop racist. I said it was racial profiling going on.
Well, yes, you don't know that it's a racial profiling.
Well, they don't honestly pull over African Americans who are running around with cigars in their pocket just because they're African Americans.
The thing is, the police officer was told that it was a robbery. Now, there's a problem in Missouri. Stealing, it is not a robbery. It's shoplifting at best.
Okay.
He stole some cigars. It wasn't a robbery. So when a police officer is told, hey, there is a robbery, you think, well, geez, the guy may have went in there and robbed the place.
Okay, let's just.
It's a little bit wrong to say that it was a robbery when it wasn't a robbery.
We don't even know if he robbed the thing. All I heard was that he had some cigars that were stolen. He pushed the cop, and then he went for the cop's gun. Now, I can't verify that. This is two separate incidences, by the way. But it doesn't really matter. I think we both can agree.
But to say that, I just think that the whole thing, to go ahead and just say that this was an innocent black kid that was shot by a cop, and it was so wrong, this cop was way out of line, he murdered this guy, and nobody even really knows what really happened, to sit back and actually look at the facts, and let's wait for the facts to come out, because the boy that was with Michael Brown said they were running and he was shot in the back. Well, unfortunately, the autopsy shows there was no shot to the back.
Well, you know,
now what?
all I can tell you is this crime of abuse of power, which appears to be, should be addressed. If we want to help the African American community at Ferguson or anywhere else in the country, we need to address how policemen approach people that are resisting arrest. Do we kill them, shoot to kill, or do we maim and impair them?
Maybe some tasers.
Tasers would be good. Yes. Thank you. Tasers would be good. Mad Dog, I'm sorry I couldn't take your call. It's not a very sophisticated phone system. But tasers would be better in this instance, and I'm not a big taser fan, but I'm just saying we need a chain of events to be protocol for our military or our police. Yeah, both police and military both need this, because we have to be on the same page when it comes to appeasing the Geneva Convention rights, which I believe we violated under Bush and Obama.
What happened to the whole thing? Freeze or something?
Oh, we were attacked by a gem again. It locked up that little alt button stuck on my keyboard. I was going, oh, this is ridiculous. But yeah, good caller, though. I appreciate your question and your concern, too, because I'm not here to label the cop a racist. I just believe that a lot of cops are dealing with an element of criminal that they believe has a certain color. Now, that's all I was saying. And a lot of African Americans really are upset by that.
And I understand that, but I don't know that this is, when you look at it, like the situation in Ferguson afterwards, how everybody started rioting and looting and stuff like that. I mean, is this a problem that whites can fix, or is this just we are witnessing something within the African American community that within themselves that they need to fix? I don't know. How is this a problem that white people?
You know, I don't think this is a white person fix.
I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. How can the white community do something about this?
You know, we're not just going, white people aren't going to address this. This is a people issue. This is not just white people addressing this.
Well, exactly, but you're saying how to help African American communities.
Well, I'm here to help all communities, not just African American communities.
What do you do to help the African American community?
Well, can I finish?
The fact is that that in that community you talk about how it's a majority a white police force looking after a majority black community, but then go into that community and ask these African American men, hey, do you want to be a cop? No, hell no, man, I don't even like the police. So they don't even want to be cops.
No, there are a lot of people on the force that are black. It's not a racial issue.
There's 3 people on the Ferguson police force. There's like 3 people that's black out of like, what, 60?
Well, that's not a representative of the population, obviously. There's some major changes that could occur there.
I understand that, but it just black people don't want to be cops. They don't like cops. They don't trust cops. And because the majority of black people don't like cops or want to be cops, it kind of sets it off a little bit when you look at the police force and you don't see a lot of black people and you're like, oh, well, you know, and going into these black communities, it's a little unfair.
Well, look, somebody just suggested a civilian oversight committee on police brutality, and it sounds good to me. I want to hear their concerns, and I think the more we are communicating with the community, do you disagree? The better off our relations will be. I mean, seriously. We can make some modifications without targeting one group or another, whether there's racial profiling going on at all right now. I can't really contest. All I can say is we need to modify their procedures so that they don't shoot to kill when a person carries stolen items or Skittles in a bag. All right.
True.
So.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you accepting the call, sir. And,
yeah. No, I don't want to label any white cops bad cops either, because that's really wrong too. I know there are a lot of police out there that are trying to do their job. All right.
And I understand that. You know, I see a lot of cops myself, you know, and sometimes I get a little weary of them myself, but you know, cops go out there and, you know, they want to go out and do a job and come home safe to their family.
Yeah.
And it's a dangerous job. It really
I know.
There's a lot of criminals out there.
Yeah.
And I understand it.
It's serious. It really is serious.
I don't know what there is to do.
Well, we're working on it right now. Just the fact that I can even talk about racial issues is great. I want to talk about racial issues. That's one of the reasons why I've done what I've done. I bring out issues like that wherever I go, because we don't need these major divides. We have an economic bond, and that is we're all losing a lot of money right now, and Wall Street continues to make more and more every day. So we have an economic bond among Americans, whether we're black, white, Hispanic, or Asian, or Native American. We're all bonded to this one thing. We are all getting the short end of the stick right now. All right, Sarah can talk now. Well, thanks, caller. I'll let you go. Take care.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep. All right. Well, look, these are the kind of calls that are important to our discussion on the issue of racial profiling in our government. I don't want to be called a white person when applying for a scholarship. Now, that happened to me when I was 17 years old, applying for a scholarship, and I had to fill out white. Now, I could have been like Elizabeth Warren and written Native American, because technically I have as much Native American in me, if not more, than Elizabeth Warren, the senator from Connecticut, from Massachusetts, excuse me. But I believe Elizabeth Warren committed fraud in getting affirmative action money, and it kept people like me, who were top students in high school, the top student in high school, I should say, in my high school, from getting a scholarship or access to an Ivy League university, which would have meant a lot in my career. All right, you got a quick, Rodney, what is it, your question, political in nature? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Pete.
Well, it's an open subject, and we like to talk about things that are really, current. And this Ferguson thing is obviously still there. A lot of people are not getting what they want. We are still not seeing Barack Obama step up to the plate on this. We're seeing him take a back seat. He's not leading on this issue. This is the sad part about this president. He doesn't lead. He just does damage control and tries to fix up his image. It's not the kind of president we need. We need a person to take stands and move forward. He has a real slippery side to him. He just wants to walk away with minimal damage to the Democratic Party. That's not good enough. The Democrats are at fault here. Amen to that. Most people don't realize, Rodney, that the Republicans passed the Civil Rights.
Everybody take a deep breath real quick. The topics are getting a little heavy. We're getting knee deep in here.
Well,
let's all relax.
Thanks. This is not the Rodney meditation hour, okay? I'm just discussing Civil Rights Acts. The Republicans passed the Civil Rights Act. The Democrats didn't. The Southern Democrats kept it behind, didn't want to pass it. So the Republicans are historically the ones that passed the Civil Rights Act. The Democrats don't want anyone to know that. And there's this element within their entire group that, God forbid they ever get labeled what they were labeled for years. The Southern Democrats were called racists. So they came out super strong against me, even though I've never said a racial slur in my life. They're so xenophobic about the racist issue. They want to attack me instead of fix the problem in Ferguson or anywhere else in the country. We weren't cut off, Rodney. Basically, this is not the take a break meditation hour with Rodney as the lead speaker. Okay, what's your question?
Well, Dave, just like you're setting fires again, like your blackface video. Everybody needs to join hands and be a brother to one another.
Come on, man. What we need to do right now is solve the problem.
To fuel the flames of racism this town.
We need to solve the problem, not just push it aside or sweep it under the rug or pretend like it's not politically correct to talk about it. That doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. You're asking us to do a kumbaya session when I want to open up the discussion. I mean, come on, you're kind of killing me here. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya, oh Lord, kumbaya.
Ever since Dave deployed blackface, I mean, Trayvon Martin's been murdered. This other.
Oh, that's bullpucky. You know damn well that's bull. He's trying to draw a connection. That's ridiculous. Okay, guests, please do not bite anything on screen. Sarah has opened up chat mod controls. Thank you. Okay, get ahead. Get another guest name. Come on in. The Civil Rights Act was introduced by Kennedy and pushed through Congress by President Johnson. Another Democrat. Good grief. Now you're rewriting history. No. Topper Dan. No, the Republicans passed it.
Talking about who controlled Congress at the time?
Yeah, who controlled Congress? They passed the Civil Rights Act.
I haven't.
You look it up. It's 1965. Check it out. I gotta ban this other person. I'm not rewriting history. You're so hook, line, and sinker in the party line, Topper Dan, that you don't seem to get it. Your party has been living with the grief of being called racist for so long as Southern Democrats that you've forgotten your roots in the South, and you want to go ahead and call me racist simply because I do an impersonation video of a president, denying my free speech. This is how far the Democratic Party has swayed from their roots. They have become a party of interference, and most of all, the least democratic group of anyone. They won't even allow open dialogue in their chats. They don't even have a chat room. They have committee meetings where they tell people like me to shut up, and they did that numerous times. I hear you, man. Everything points to your concern about the IRA. I see that. This guy's got one thing on his mind. It's like, all right, thanks. Coincidence? I don't know. I'm just talking about the roots of the Democratic Party and how it's rooted in racism. And now they're coming out hard against me because I simply did an impersonation video of the guy they stuck in office over the past 6 years that is screwing up everything from Yemen to our economy.
Should I end? Maybe we should end.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and drop out of the cast over here and end the Google Hangout. And we're going to go ahead and say thanks to the Google Hangout because we're going to bring our show on to a backup computer now. And then Sarah's going to continue on because we're having some meltdown issues over here due to Shockwave plugin issues. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Dropping off Vaughn and Battlecam, and I'm opening them up over here. Thanks, everyone, for coming into our Hangout, watching the archive video of some important issues that are really timely right now with concern over police brutality, which I've been discussing for the past 6 years, ironically.